Nicola Peltz, Battle of the Beckhams, Part 5. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. I'm considering the evidence to make a determination as to what Nicola Peltz is. She is the wife of Brooklyn Beckham, the son of Victoria and David Beckham, and the two of them are regularly slated as being a pair of Nepo babies. We looked at her past relationships, but now it's time to examine her relationship with Brooklyn Beckham. He is her husband, and we will now look at the relationship timeline to see what that tells us in relation to Nicola Peltz. The relationship commenced in October 2019. They first sparked dating rumours when they were photographed leaving Leonardo DiCaprio's Halloween party together. They went to the Standard Hotel for dinner. Then in January 2020, the couple went Instagram official. Peltz posted a mirror selfie of the two of them featuring a shirtless Brooklyn as she posed in black lingerie. Brooklyn shared a carousel of more candid photographs of the pair. And a few days later, the couple was spotted out in Los Angeles, with Peltz holding a bouquet of roses. Accordingly, the relationship seems to have begun round about the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020. And when it was decided that they would be official, what is done? It's broadcast on social media. Now, the broadcasting of one's relationship on social media is a narcissistic behaviour. It is not a determinative behaviour, but it is an indicator. It also, of course, has to be taken in the context that younger individuals, such as Peltz and Beckham, have grown up with the internet and social media, and therefore sharing your every thought and action on social media is something which is part and parcel of their generation. It doesn't of itself mean that the individual is a narcissist, but what it is a narcissistic behaviour, thinking that what you do is of sufficient interest that the world ought to know about it through social media, that has become normalised because so many people do it. Thus, what you have is people who are not narcissists who will engage in this narcissistic behaviour because of the herd mentality of human beings. Naturally, not everybody does it, but it is something that is prevalent amongst younger people to share your every waking moment on social media, to be filming yourself, to be photographing yourself, to share your thoughts. And we have another instance here. It's certainly showcasing and therefore is a narcissistic act, but we must place it in the context of the generational considerations for Peltz. In February 2020, they attended the Saint Laurent show at Paris Fashion Week in matching black outfits. This is clearly mirroring. Again, mirroring is something that is often seen by narcissists as part of the need to assert control and, in effect, to, first of all, flatter the person being mirrored so that they are being controlled and provide fuel, but also it is done as part of the narcissist taking character traits from the other individual to aid the creation of a construct. Now, human beings who aren't narcissists do mirror, and therefore, for the point of balance, it's important to make that point. But early on in their relationship, mirroring is taking place. Come July 2020, Brooklyn Beckham proposed to Peltz. This is a red flag. The rumours of their relationship commenced in October 2019. Within 10 months of them starting a relationship, a proposal occurs. Now, some people say, well, they're in love. And why not? But the fact is, you don't know enough about one another, and they're both relatively young. The fact is that an early engagement is a red flag. It doesn't always mean that a narcissist is involved, but it is a red flag because it seems that there is a rush to solidify the relationship, which could well be linked to the need to assert control. Now, Beckham proposed to Peltz, and that might be as a consequence of the fact that he has been love-bombed and therefore thinks, I've met this amazing and wonderful woman and I don't want to lose her. I want to take the relationship to the next stage. Or it might just simply be that they have a very good relationship and he's so smitten that rather than take some time, he decides that he wants to get married to her. Or it might be, of course, that Peltz has been dropping hints to him about the necessity of him proposing and thus he has done so. He shared the news on Instagram. Again, notice how their relationship plays out there. 2 weeks ago, he wrote, I asked my soulmate, and that's a dangerous word in the context of the narcissistic dynamic, to marry me, and she said yes. I am the luckiest man in the world. I promise to be the best husband and the best daddy one day. I love you, baby. So foreshadowing of marriage and foreshadowing of having children together, not uncommon, but the speed at which this engagement occurred is definitely a red flag. Peltz posted the same photograph to her Instagram and captioned it, You've made me the luckiest girl in the world. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life by your side. Your love is the most precious gift. I love you so much, baby, and thank you, Harper, for this pic. In February 2022, Brooklyn shared details about how he popped the question during his appearance on The Late Late Show with James Corden, arsehole. He said, I proposed in the countryside in New York in Bedford. I filled the gazebo with a bunch of flowers. Her favourite flowers is peonies. A bunch of peonies, flowers, candles, her favourite wine, some caviar. Nicola spoke about the moment as well in a March 2023 Cosmopolitan interview. She said Brooklyn was vocal about his hopes to marry her one day. He would tell me all the time, I want to be with you, or I want to marry you. We got engaged 8 months into our relationship, and at that point, he'd actually had the ring sitting in our room for 3 months. So another red flag there, that it was even earlier than 8 months that the notion of getting married. Might this be that Brooklyn Beckham completely fell under her spell? That as an ensnared individual, he felt moved to propose? Had she been dropping hints? She said she was taken by surprise by his proposal. He's so romantic, so when he would plan something, I wouldn't think too much of it. So he was like, oh, let's have a date night at your house. And he tricked me because we were in New York, but my whole family was in Florida. But he told my family to fly up, so they were all hiding to celebrate with us. He really wanted both of our families to be there when he asked me, but it was so complicated with the pandemic border restrictions. So the morning after we got engaged, we flew right to London so that we got to celebrate with his family too. Their first anniversary was shared in October 2020. Brooklyn wrote, Happy 1 year anniversary, baby. I'm the luckiest person to have you by my side. I cannot wait to grow old with you and start a family. Love you so much. Nicola shared a photo of him in the present to her Instagram story. She wrote, I'm the luckiest girl in the whole world. Notice there's no reciprocation from her of the comments that he has made, but rather she shares to the world, look how doting this man, how devoted this man is towards me. In January, Brooklyn honoured Nicola's late grandmother, Gina, by getting a tattoo of her name on his arm. Again, a red flag. It shows this boy probably isn't too bright and is also somewhat smitten. This level of infatuation that occurs is often indicative of the victim being ensnared by a narcissist because they are so intoxicated by the love that they believe that they're experiencing that they go and do things such as getting a tattoo of the grandmother of your fiancé on your arm. In June 2021, Brooklyn reflected on the day that he proposed to his wife, sharing that once again. They attended the Met Gala together in September 2021, kissing on the red carpet. He was shown assisting her with the train of her gown. What one gains from this, and also from the Instagram posts that I have seen, is that she seems to be the more dominant character in the relationship, where Brooklyn Beckham comes across as not a bad lad, really, quite a kind individual. And it strikes me as that he is genuinely smitten by his wife, and that he perhaps isn't fully aware of just how quickly he has been moving and the potential for problems that comes with this, that he has been drawn into this relationship with her and is head over heels in love. Remember that in the timeline that I'm describing to you, their relationship only started in October 2019. So all of the acts that I'm describing, if she is a narcissist, will be taking place within the golden period. And he is showing his devotion with these repeated posts and so forth. And accordingly, it's often the case that he posts and then she reposts. In April 2022, the couple got married at Nicola Peltz's family estate in Palm Beach, Florida. Then they made their first red carpet appearance as a married couple in May 2022 at the Met Gala. In July 2022, they were spotted on vacation in Saint-Tropez. They were staying on the Peltz family yacht. In August 2022, Brooklyn got a tattoo of the word married on his left hand, signifying his loyalty to Peltz. He shared a photo of this, writing, "Surprise my baby," at Nicola Peltz Beckham. In October 2022, they announced the fact that they'd adopted a new dog together, which was a rescue puppy. And then in November 2022, Brooklyn spoke to People magazine about the couple's potential plans to start a family of their own. In December 2022, Peltz told Elle, "Newlywed life is amazing. Brooklyn is truly my best friend and obviously my love. So being able to live life by his side has been amazing because I feel like even if I'm going through something bad, I have him by my side." When asked where she sees herself in 5 years, she said, "I see myself being a mum in 5 years. Brooklyn wants a lot of kids. I have 6 brothers and sister. I would love a big family." January 2023, Brooklyn celebrated her 28th birthday with a romantic Instagram video post referring to her as the most gorgeous girl I've ever seen in the caption. In April 2023, they celebrated their first wedding anniversary with family, with Brooklyn posting another photograph showing him kissing her in a mall as she sort of leans backwards. And then they attended the Met Gala again in May 2023. In October 2023, they celebrated 4 years together. Brooklyn again shared 2 Instagram photos of him and Nicola in coordinating looks, mirroring again, both wearing pink tops and blue jeans. He captioned the tribute, "Dear Nicola, the last 4 years have been the most amazing years of my life. You complete my life. You are my everything. And I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I love you." In April 2024, they celebrated their second wedding anniversary. They both shared photographs of one another. In May 2024, Brooklyn appeared at the Met Gala on his own because his wife was in Florida with her grandmother. He shared a message on his Instagram writing, "Missing my beautiful wife tonight." Then there were further appearances, appearing at Paris Fashion Week together, attending at his Cloud 23 Hot Sauce launch party in Los Angeles in October 2024. They apparently celebrated Christmas 2024 with their families and then shared selfies again in January 2025 as they rung in the new year. Now, there's no reported issues of difficulties in the relationship, but given what we know about what has gone on in the Peltz home and how that has been portrayed externally, the behaviours of Peltz vis-a-vis staff contrasting with the image that is presented with regard to a tight-knit family, it wouldn't be a surprise that behind the scenes that there are devaluing behaviours being exhibited, but they simply don't reach the media. Given what we'd heard in relation to the way that Peltz had treated staff, it seems that it would be potentially likely that that would be the case, that Brooklyn Beckham would be similarly devalued. Or might it be the case that there's a distinction, that those individuals are treated that way simply because they are staff, but there is genuine love between the two of them and it is a wonderful relationship. Interestingly, of course, they have to repeatedly tell us that it's a wonderful relationship and how they love one another, etc., through the use of social media, which again is narcissistic behaviour. It appears to me that from at least the perspective of Beckham, that he is somebody who's completely infatuated with his wife, doting on her, and wants to keep telling the world about how in love he is and how lucky he is. Part of this might be done, of course, to please her, that he does it in order to ensure that she is kept happy. And might that be because there are occasions where she expresses displeasure towards him? While she also does share pictures, she doesn't do so as prolifically. Indeed, on her Instagram, many of the pictures of herself and what she's doing as opposed to necessarily always being with Brooklyn Beckham. There are pictures shared by her of the two of them together, but comparing the two Instagram accounts, he shares far more pictures of the two of them together, whereas she displays more pictures of herself or attending events, which could point to it being an uneven relationship, whereby he is keener to talk about how wonderful it is to the world, and she is more focused on showing herself. But as it is, there are no reported issues in respect of the relationship, but it might be that that's just kept covered up. But there are certainly a number of narcissistic indicators in relation to how the relationship has arisen in the first place, the speed at which it moved, and also the necessity of playing it out on social media, although of course we need to keep that within the context of these being younger individuals who've grown up living their lives on social media. Next, we're going to consider some of the tensions that have arisen between Nicola Peltz and Brooklyn Beckham's family, which provides us with further insight into the relationship and what she might be. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.